Hey, welcome to the Daily for Wednesday, July 17th. I'm Jason Seguini, going solo today. I do have some help, though, from my friend Andrew Wiebe, who was up in Hartford, Connecticut last night as the U.S. advanced in the Gold Cup to the quarterfinals with a 1-0 victory over Costa Rica. Let's hear what Andrew had to say after the match.
Andrew Wiebe for MLSsoccer.com here at Rinchler Field, where the U.S. national team has just finished off a 1-0 victory against Costa Rica in their Group C finale. The U.S. finishes atop the group with 9 points. Their reward, avoiding Honduras in the quarterfinal stage. Instead, they'll take on El Salvador next Sunday in Baltimore. The hero on the night, Brek Shea, who you'll remember on Saturday night was the GOAT for a dreadful first half performance against Cuba. This time around, he comes on as a sub and finishes off a brilliant pass from Landon Donovan in the 83rd minute to give the U.S. that 1-0 victory. Of course, through those 83 minutes, not many chances for the U.S. Costa Rica coming out with a defensive game plan, putting 5 men behind the ball. That certainly surprised Jurgen Klinsmann and his staff.
No, it was pretty obvious, starting the game, they had a back five line, very compact, didn't allow any space there to go through, that it will end up in a grind, it will end up in a battle, and you got to kind of win your one-against-one situations. You got to sooner or later hope that there is an opening moment and then break through and score a goal. So we said it at halftime, you got to be patient there. You got to keep working them. You got to shift over to the other sides whenever possible. I think Stuart Holden did that very well, with a lot of diagonal balls, taking them over, getting them tired, and they got tired.
The U.S. have 5 days to recuperate before that quarterfinal matchup against El Salvador in Baltimore. But in the meantime, Jurgen Klinsmann has some decisions to make. In the next 24 hours, he can make up to 4 changes to his current roster. Check MLSsoccer.com for that news, and check out Gold Cup Today tomorrow for a full recap of tonight's action.
Thanks, Andrew. Once again, the U.S. in action in the quarterfinals on Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time against El Salvador. And don't forget to check out Gold Cup Today later on the site. Sam and Andrew will have all the reaction from last night's match. Moving on to some MLS action tonight, the Colorado Rapids hosting the New England Revolution, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on MLS Live. This is a big game for both teams. They're sitting in 6th place, just outside the playoffs. For Colorado, 3 points behind the LA Galaxy. They are trying to build off 2 straight shutouts, continue their momentum as they move forward and push for that playoff spot. The New England Revolution, on the other hand, they dropped a terrible result at home against the Houston Dynamo last week. That's the team they are chasing in the standings. Now they're 5 points behind. Sayer Sen, 2 goals in his last 2 games. Maybe they can build off that momentum. They want to get a win here. This is their game in hand on the Dynamo. They can cut the gap now to 2 points. Final game tonight, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the Direct Kick Package and MLS Live. Chivas USA hosting Toronto FC. Not the biggest names here as far as MLS teams go, but you are going to see some big names on the field. Carlos Bocanegra and Eric Torres have both cleared for Chivas USA. Expect them in action tonight. As far as Toronto FC goes, Ryan Nelson's reclamation project here. He got rid of Darren O'Day, their captain. Obviously, we saw Luis Silva shipped out before that. What can Toronto FC do on the road against another team that's been struggling? Is this their chance to get some points in the standings and try to turn things around? Again, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You can see that on MLS Live or the Direct Kick Package. Also, don't miss Anatomy of a Goal on the site today. You can see Greg Lawless breaking down the Portland Timbers' sneaky set-piece goal that helped them defeat the LA Galaxy this weekend. That's all I have for the Daily. We'll be back with plenty more tomorrow.